many years now. And I think it's something that has to be looked at, because it's one thing to be a man, and it's another thing to actually be a man.
Oh, yeah.
I'll explain myself. See, because of societal expectation and traditional roles, a lot of burden and stress come upon men to be able, that limits them to not be able to be the persons that they are supposed to be.
Yeah.
And before a man becomes a leader, before a man plays a very critical role, he's first a human.
Yeah.
And he also deserves a certain amount of affection, love, validation, motivation. But you see, the whole expectation is, oh, we are Bema. Let me give you an example. When we are a child, I'll use myself as an example. In the settings I grew up, when you fall down as a man, what they tell you is that, and you fall down, you want to cry. They'll be like, quick, don't cry. And there's this tag word, Bemensu,
yeah,
don't cry. That, I think that's where it starts. If you fall down, oh, okay, you are hurt. Where did you get hurt? Okay, it's here. Okay, sorry. Next time, don't pass here again. Just go and let it get treated. But the credit, you're not supposed to cry. So as you grow and you experience any tragic or any trauma along the line, oh, I'm a man, I'm supposed to shoulder it,
test it,
take it, and it keeps on going, and it has changed societal view of how a man is supposed to be like.
Yeah.
You see, a man, yes, we are supposed to be strong and all that, but there's supposed to be a support system, to make us even stronger.
Yeah.
When you leave a man to be himself, in your view or in your eyes, you think, oh, he's doing what he has to do, but inwardly, he's dying. The World Health Organization says that every 40 seconds, a man commits suicide.
Yeah.
And this is alarming. So I think even when the government is planning on creating their social intervention policies, we need to look at this angle. What do men go through? How do they think? You know, so looking at this, I think I came up with, I have a group, we came up with a campaign called the Say It campaign, where we are looking at creating and promoting awareness when it comes to men's mental health. And we started it, I think, it was supposed to start last month, but we started beginning of this month, as you can see in my shirt.
Yeah.
The whole idea is to help men to become better.
But you know, before you go into that,
Sure.
let's look at it. Let's tone it down. Let's look at let's have a real conversation.
Sure.
Not this is about mental health. I want to ask you a few things.
Sure.
Like, so honestly, as a man, have you ever been able to open up and talk to somebody about some of the things you go through day to day, like day in, day out?
It's difficult, to be honest with you. We are able to talk to few people who have been able to make connections with you. So here the stress is on with you, not you to them. Because of how the whole tag is, we need people who connect with us, not the other way. Because naturally, you are supposed to be there for others. You're a man. You're supposed to take care of people. You're supposed to be there for friends. You're supposed to work hard and make sure that things are working. So when you have people who understand you, and let you know that you are there for them, they are there for you, you'll be able to open up and speak to them. And unfortunately, there are only few. There could be one or two people. So when these people see you are down, they'll be like, oh, okay, what's wrong with you? Is there anything that I can do to help you? Do you need this? These people are able to create a room for you to voice out whatever is going on with you. But unfortunately, we don't really have it. So you see guys who are very few and they are struggling to really state what's they're actually going on. So personally with me, I find it very difficult. It's not everybody I speak to.
But you know, in this kind of campaign, and talking about mental health, which is very, very important. You know, our society doesn't allow that. Shouldn't men be looking out for people in their lives that they can talk to? Like, you know, not even if it's not even a family member, but like, you know, speaking to a psychologist, speaking to a therapist, a counselor or something about, because life is happening. Maybe, a lot of things are happening all around people. Do you understand? You need someone to talk to, definitely.
You see, the reason why it would be difficult also for a man to speak to some people, as I said, is not everybody who understands what men go through. It is very easy for somebody who has people like a support system around them to voice out. Even with them, let me give you an example.
Okay.
There's this guy who I was speaking to, and he was giving me the reason why it would be difficult for him as a man to voice out.
Uh-huh.
And one of the things he says is that sometimes when you tell people what you are going through, along the line, they use it at you.
Mm-hmm.
You get it? So be it let's say your girlfriend, be it even a friend. When like a situation comes, when maybe they are supposed to state what is going on, what you've told them, what you went through, they will use it at you. And even in the normal tradition, family settings, as you suggested, like somebody to be in a family, the family setting is making a comparison of your life to either a friend who is a notch higher than where you are currently.
Mm-hmm.
So it will be very difficult for you to look at somebody around your set and be like, oh, I am going through this. And being a man is not, I can do it all alone.
Mm-hmm.
Being a man is, I need help. Being a man is, can you please help me do this thing better?
Mm-hmm.
But because of this thing, how people get back to you when they think whatever you told them or whatever you were going through,
Yeah.
you shared with them. And this is a particular thing that sometimes blocks people, especially men, from communicating what they are going through. So they prefer somebody who will be like, I'm there for you. Let's fix it. How can I fix it? The person is helping you to fix it. Even when you're alone and you are fixing everything, the person will be able to like, okay, let us work together at it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. So if that they see this kind of advocacy, it stands on the fact that men will actually talk.
Yeah.
You are not understanding. And if the men themselves don't feel like opening up, how are we able to help them? Because men naturally they'll tell you, I'm okay. He could be dying inside, but he's saying he's fine.
Yeah. If the only way you can help a man to open up is to be there for him, we need to create a conversation around it. We need to have an open conversation and discussion around it.
So wait, before we go to open discussion, how do you do this as a friend?
Yeah.
Okay, talking from the feminine side, how do you, like you said, being there for a man? Being there for, you could be there for the person, but the person with all the things they've been through cannot probably see that you're doing. How do you, from a man's perspective, how can they tell that, okay, Ajele is actually being there for Dennis? How can Dennis actually see that, okay, Ajele
is actually being there. One, Ajele is not being judgmental.
Mm-hmm.
Ajele has a good listening ear.
Mm-hmm.
Ajele has been able to create a support system from Dennis. So let's say Dennis comes back from work, or Ajele meets Dennis at the workplace.
Mm-hmm.
Dennis, how was your day?
Mm-hmm.
Dennis, you mentioned some time ago that you are doing a project. How is it going?
Okay, being intentional.
You get it. They'll be like, okay, Charlie, the thing is not going as like, oh, don't worry. Ajele will be like, have you tried this? Like, oh, yeah, I tried it, but I think something went wrong, which I might find myself in problem. Ajele will be like, oh, Charlie, don't worry, we'll find a way I work at it.
Okay, so what I'm getting from is being intentional.
Yes, be very, very intentional.
And then being able to offer solutions.
Offer solutions. Even if you don't have the solution, just giving a listening ear. Because, you see, you giving a listening ear also halves the whole problem.
Oh.
You get it?
Mm-hmm.
So, you listening along the line, I'm attached to you.
Mm-hmm.
So, among all my settings, I'll come back to you.
And
when I do something, I'll come back to you. If you don't use it against me throughout the years that we've had as a relationship, you always have me. So if there's somebody to get me to open up, it will be you.
Okay.
That's why a lot of men have a lot of female friends, or a lot of female friends who are able to be there for them.
Yeah.
You get it? We are not supposed to be judgmental.
Yeah.
Because you see a young guy who is done with university, there's a lot of things going through his mind.
Mm-hmm.
You see a young man who is striving, like making sure, bringing up some initiative to go through in life. They are going through a lot. they are handling a lot. They have things that they want to achieve. They have places that they have to be, and things are not going as they plan to. Tell me, if such a guy has a friend like Ajele, how do you think it's going to be like?
Oh, that one they're fooling there. Zala will go full plate. But definitely you have a listening in and a sister to help you out.
And that listening here and the judgmental part is very few. It's like 2% out of 100%. Nobody's willing to listen to anybody because of the slang. You're a man. Because, for example, even on a normal street, we guys, you normally joke, you don't have to be a soft guy.
Yeah, hard guy.
You have to be a hard guy. You are dying, but you're saying that
Charlie, hard guy for life. A real bad man.
let me tell you a funny story of one of our guys who was going through a broken heart. He came to work one day, and you know him is this jovial guy who is always around and all that. Then he was in the washroom. He has been in the washroom for several minutes. It's locked up there. When he came out, like with face back, we know him. He was like, Charlie, is everything okay? Oh, Charlie, everything be okay, Charlie. I for be hard guy, bro. I for be hard guy.
Really?
Yeah. So I called him. You see, even though I was joking, I called him aside and I asked him, Charlie, what's your problem? He told me, oh, Charlie,
the girl leave out.
a woman travel go outside. Oh, he say I be low spec, so he dropped me.
Oh,
I said, yeah. So guys came around and like we were talking. Some of the things where your guy was like, Charlie, you have to be a hard guy. See, the first thing that came from someone close to Charlie, for be hard, you have to be strong. But I told him, so how is it making you feel? You see, you need to ask the right questions before you even put the person in a position to be strong. There's something going on through his head. And when that thing is going on in that person's head, there's nothing. No matter how many words you said that you be strong, you have to be, it will not work. Yeah. So I called him aside and I asked him, Charlie, how is it making you feel, Charlie? I think I'll get through it. You see, he wasn't opening up. All that is like, because this tag, I have to be a man. It's like, oh, Charlie, don't worry, everything will be fine. Just try and move on and make sure that you are always with us. It's like, oh, I should forget. He's even planning on getting a new one. But as time goes on, I realized that
just like that, just like get a new girlfriend.
But it affected him. You could see his work ethics changed. He wasn't the fast-paced guy that we knew to. So at the point, like, so even though people were laughing at him, it was just
this is where I want to ask you that. Why do you men do that to each other? Because I see them do it to each other here every time. This afternoon, they've been teasing and laughing, and they do that all the time. But when, for them, when it's us, the females, going through something, they are very gentle.
Yeah, because we have to be there for you.
They are very gentle. But when it's them, take, for example, the one sitting in the corner over there. You see he's laughing. He's going through his own thing.
Yeah.
Instead of, they'll later actually ask him, yo, guy, for make hard. But then they're making fun of him. Yeah. They're going to make fun of him like 2-3 days before they'll tell him, Charlie, it's okay, everything will be fine. You understand me?
Yeah, it's part of the thing that we need to deal with, even though it's normal. See, sometimes if you like the broken heart thing I told you, along the line it kills. But it's not every man who is strong like that.
No.
Normally when we are guys, we join together, we laugh. We all go to our respective homes, we think about it.
Yeah.
We start thinking about things that we are going through. Yeah. A lot of young guys commit suicide.
Yeah. I know.
If you don't commit suicide, you make the wrong decision. That will impact your life.
For the rest of it, or probably for the first half, you're going to go through difficult things.
Yeah, and you see, we guys, just as you said, with ladies, we have to be there for you. You see, the thing is, I have to be there for you. Forgetting it is a relationship.
Yeah.
So the softness that we are speaking about is actually, don't be weak. Because sometimes ladies judge us based on our weakness and our strength.
Definitely,
so if we do. You, the lady, you are emotional, and you, the guy who you're supposed to provide the shelter, the security, I come to you, and you're also like,
you definitely want to stop crying and ask him.
And guys have the rapport to work together, to eat together, to share stuff, to share values and all that, but we don't have the rapport to be there for ourselves emotionally. The only way we handle ourselves as guys is to tap at the back. And Charlie, it will be, we move.
That's horrible.
Yeah, but
Meanwhile,
anyways,
with us women, somebody gets a broken heart.
yeah,
We are hanging out together. We're eating ice cream. We're trashing the guy, insulting him.
Yeah.
Moving on from there,
Yeah.
dance a bit. Make sure she, you're there for her. Constantly. We're having a good time. Making sure you smile and you're moving on from there. But it doesn't happen with a guy.
Yeah, we play game together. We play football. When we are playing football, we don't really talk.
Then you go home and go and cry.
That's the thing. But you see, the more it also comes back to having quality friends. So the type of friends that you also have plays a key role. So if you have friends that you see day to day, you get it.
Yeah.
As time goes on, it will fade away. But if you are the introvert guy, you don't really go out. Maybe you've met one friend here and there and you've spoken about it, they've loved you. Sometimes I am at the point no, let me use me as my example.
The person will kill you, and
The person
don't
will kill
worry.
me. If the person is an introvert and for the first time you say it, they've laughed at you, and he goes home, he's thinking about it.
Yeah.
It affects him.
Yeah, it does.
It affects him, and it changes the person. It changes and it switches off the compassion, the emotional aspect of the person to show love. So you see a lot of guys, maybe their first issues that they will have in life, be it a relationship issue. If that part of his life is not handled well, the next lady that comes will suffer.
We'll pay for everything. Yeah.
Even though it is in reverse, but looking at it from the guy's angle, like, okay, I'm going in, but not with my heart or with my chest. I'm going with my head. So you see, the lady will be acting all emotional, but the guy is acting with his mind.
He's withdrawn totally from it.
Totally. It's so as we grow, this barrier grows with us. This shield grows with us, and it's where I really am afraid to even start the campaign I was about to tell you is it enters into our family, and if it gets into our family, it affects the children that we give birth to, and they also grow because we don't have that training, because we didn't receive that first-hand emotional room, or that room where we have help. We are not able to give it to our children.
Yeah.
So that's where it starts. Our child will grow, who is a guy, and it continues.
Yeah, because you're not able to show love. I'm a friend of mine saw me, the way I was reacting towards my son. Yeah. And he was like, why are you being so soft with him? He has to be a boy. Like, even his uncles were quite soft with him, not being too difficult. And I was like, how did you grow up? He said his father didn't show him love and he turned out good. I'm like, wow, you think you turned out good?
Nah, you didn't.
No, because I looked at him and then at that point I understood the reason why he behaves the way he does. Yeah. I realized I was horrible.
Sorry, I lost my dad when I was 12 years.
Yeah.
So I didn't have any fatherly person in my life. My mom was playing two roles.
Yeah.
At the point in my life, my mom taught me how to be with a lady. She told me that when you are with a lady, you need to be there for her.
Your mom's gangster.
Because this is somebody who wakes up very early to go to the market, and when she wakes up, she's with you. You see how hard she's working. So you grow up to have that soft spot for any hard-working lady that you see. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It's not every guy who has it. And even if you don't even have... The worst is you not having like a father figure in your life. You might think you are making the right choices, but it will affect you.
So, you see, with what we are discussing, realizing that no matter what, we need some certain positive male figures, male roles in the lives of men.
Yes.
Let me ask you, at what point should that change? Should they be constantly throughout their lives?
Yes.
Or till to a point then you back off?
No. It has to continue until you die.
So you should have male role models.
Male roles, different types. Because let me continue with my mom's story. Because she knew she couldn't play that role, she started handing me over to guys who have a certain skill.
Okay.
So she first gave me to a carpenter. That man taught me discipline. So if I go, tell me, take this wood, put it here, place it here, then I'm always with him. So that man was the first person to make an attempt to discipline me. My mom made me stay with him, and he taught me. From there, I had an opportunity to be with some guy who does sandals. He's a Muslim, and I stayed with him. And he started sending me. So I was with him, and he was also teaching me a different aspect of what it means to be a man. Bear in mind, I don't even have an elderly brother. So I was with them. So I had, apart from these two, I ended up with, the last person I ended up with was an electrician.
Okay.
So he taught me the essence of life, what a man is supposed to be.
Yeah.
So he told me that I'm a young guy, I'm coming up. If I don't know when I impregnate a lady right now and I don't have anything with myself, I'll struggle.
Yeah.
He took me out, he will travel with me, we'll go and work. Then you tell me that if I work, I'll get paid.
Okay.
So at the point, I've not really discovered myself, what I'm good at, the things that I can do, my skills. I was only trying to do one of two DJs here and there. Those days, when you just have small Pentium 2 DJs. So, anytime I'm planning to go into a DJ, I was like, no, I need to find out other things that I'm good at.
Yeah.
So you go with me, then you teach me like this, and that. At the point, he said he was going to open a technical school for me.
Oh, wow.
So I asked him why. So he says that if everything fails, at least you know that you have that particular one.
I understand. I like that.
Yeah.
But your mother is a very wise woman to be able to, push you in that direction to get different male roles, like, male figures in your life to help you deal with. And I think that's some of the things that we're missing out in society.
Yeah.
We tend to, I don't know, but this is a very important thing that, mental health is something we all should look at, because the kind of work you do 9 to 5, some people are even doing way more than 9 to 5. Some people are doing 9 to 9.
9 to 9.
Some people are doing, all 24 hours.
The 9 to 9 and 24 hours, there's also attached works to a lot.
Yeah, there are people who close from their 9 to 5, come home, get 2 hours of sleep, then work from home for other gigs and stuff like that. So there's a lot of pressure mounted. The economy is part of it. Everything is part of it. So it weighs you down as a human being. And what I'm getting from what we're saying is that men need to be able to speak up. And as a society, we should be able to welcome them speaking up and not, shutting them down. There's a lot of stories we discuss. Some come to us and then, we don't put it out on there because they're too deep.
Very deep.
Very, difficult situations that you can't really put out there. And you realize that men go through a lot.
A lot.
And then they carry it on to other things.
Yes.
And it's unfortunate.
You see, the leaders that we have play a very critical role in our lives. So if a young guy doesn't have that opportunity or the room to open up, and he holds up this thing, I need to be a man.
Mm-hmm.
I have to be. I can do it alone.
Mm-hmm.
The person plays a leadership role. All the people under him are at risk.
Yeah.
The decisions and the choices that he will make can have massive impact on them.
Yeah.
So, in as much as we are saying that men need to speak up, we also need to look at the angle whereby society or the environment to be like, okay, we need to start taking up initiatives to help men to open up. We shouldn't be like, oh, what's up with your Bema? I bet you me. No. Oh, Papa was so about bet you me. No. Because sometimes you need to look into the eyes of a man and tell him that you'll be okay.
Yeah.
You need to look into the eyes and tell a man that you are strong. You've got this together.
Mm-hmm.
Everything is going to turn out well. Because sometimes it's surprising. God has given us a certain kind of strength whereby no matter how down we are able to pick ourselves up. Mm-hmm. But even the Bible says that let us create ourselves a woman to be a helper to the man. Mm-hmm. God knows that at the end of the day, you will need a helper. Mm-hmm. Even if it's not a woman, it's supposed to be another male. Because you might find yourself in a man who growing up has all the support that he needs to become the perfect gentleman. And we have another guy who growing up had to grow surviving. Mm-hmm. There's a difference between growing up to growing growing, but you are surviving along the line. Yeah. And there's a difference between you growing
and having all the tools.
All the tools. Mm-hmm. When these two people grow up, the way they influence the society is very, very different. Yeah. But we need to find a way of bringing what is here to here so that we can have a very good society where men grow up and they are able to live to their value. It's very, very important.
I like that. See, let's talk about the initiative. So, what exactly? Is it like a support group for men? Because I'm down for support groups.
Okay. Funny enough, we don't have support groups for men. Okay,
I've not
seen it.
There should be support groups for men.
I've not seen it. If there is, I don't know.
Single fathers can have meetings and talk. Men who have dealt in, I know about.
But you see, it goes back to what we said. Unless maybe matured men, but it will be very difficult for guys like some young guys who sit down. They'll be like, Charlie, what are you going through, Charlie? And they go through this, so I'm feeling depressed and this and that. You see, my issue here is depression, and the group is called Rich Nest. Yeah, we came up with a campaign called the Say It campaign.
Yeah, I see it. Kofi say it, Kweku say it, Kwame say it, Kobe say it, Kwesi say it, Kojo say it, Yao say it.
Yao say it. Yes, the campaign is to help promote and advocate for men's mental health.
Yeah,
we think it is something that must be spoken of. We think something that must be very, very taken seriously. So the campaign, we shot a video skit. I think I've shared a video.
Yeah.
Yes, a video skit where we are trying to create a pictorial image of how or what men go through.
Yeah.
So there's this guy who is called Kobe, woke up to a series of messages of jobs that he has applied that didn't go through. Yes, he has been depressed, stressed, and he doesn't know how to say it. He meets his friends. You could see it's all down. His friends were like, he couldn't say what he was going through, but at the first handshake, it was like, Charlie, for being a guy, you have to be a hard guy.
Just like that. It doesn't even validate what you're going through. Makes it look like what you're going through is nothing, crap.
Yeah, you have to be a hard guy. But in the video, there's this lady who noticed that the guy is not himself. So it was like, Kobe, are you okay? What's wrong? Charlie, say it. So that's the video. So the video, even though it's a campaign, it also comes with a challenge where we are saying that knowing that the days of the week comes with names, Kofi, Kojo, Kwesi, Kwabena, Yao, Kweku, pick up a phone, then use this name and say, Kweku, be strong. Kweku, you are not alone. Kweku, everything will be fine. Kojo, whatever you are working through will come through. Or Yao, suicide is not the way to go. Don't commit suicide. Or Kwabena, don't worry. Everything, but don't be stressed. Speak to somebody and everything. So that's basically what the campaign is all about.
Okay. There are a few messages. I would love to share them with you.
Sure.
So, yeah, some people were able to, be candid enough to share a few of their messages, their thoughts with us.
That's nice.
Because I know how men can be quiet about these things.
Yeah.
They won't open up. This is one of my favorite people. Francis Kelly says, sometimes I feel stress, heartbreaks, overthinking, loneliness, and pressure. Happy glorious birthday to you, dearie Mavis Abnate. Says, good afternoon, beautiful people. Well, sometimes, we all go through it, but people don't. And I commend you for even opening up and saying that, sometimes you feel it.
Yeah.
This one says, hello, hits. Sorry, let me read this.
Sure.
Hello, hits. Men's mental health. Most of us are going through a lot. Mine is life was good. I'm an online driver who owns my own car for about 3 months now. This has moved from worse to worse. Financial stability has also been worse, from total car breakdown to relationship breakdown. The woman I was with for 4 years all of a sudden told me she sees me like a brother. Like a what? oh my God, damn. The same week my car engine broke down. As at now, I'm going insane, especially because I'm that introvert type, always indoors. My woman was my friend, my sister, my everything. Where I share everything with. There are times I feel like ending it all. I don't have a friend or a good relative to call. Men are low key going through hell, but how do we voice out? My name is, I'm not going to mention your name. I'm an online driver. Anybody with a car link up. Okay, wow. He lives in Ablikuma.
Okay.
I'm so sorry about this one. But he's looking for, look, I don't usually do this, but I'm going to do this for him. He's looking for anybody who wants to give him a car, who take weekly sales. He can link up with, and he's giving out his number, please. If you can give him a job, I'm going to put it out so you can help him out, okay? 0554 5399115 or 0206 721474. If you can help him out, his number is 055 45 39115 055 08045391115 or 0206721474. If you can help him out in any way, like, give him a job, like, he's an online driver, please help him out, because Charlie, I can't begin to imagine what you're going over there, because Charlie, your car, your business that you have is falling apart, and the woman that you've been with for 4 years, all of a sudden said, I see you like a brother.
Yeah. It happens. I think recently there's a story I read on social media.
Yeah.
The lady sent a story, and it was saying that he thinks something should be done. This is a real story. I've forgotten where I read it, but it was on Facebook.
Yeah.
He says he wants something to be done for men. But this is her husband. They've been together. She went to work, and she came back, and she saw the husband dead. Yes, and she said as she investigated, she realized that the man has been going through a lot, and the man doesn't share anything with her. So under the post, I went under the post. There were this section that was saying that, was she the type who the husband thinks he can give her whatever he's going through? Yeah, and
that's a very deep question to ask.
Yeah.
Because if you don't make yourself available for those kind of conversation, you never really know. Because you can be with someone and their mood will change, and because you don't pay close attention to them, you don't see it.
So at a point, you become restless. If it is in stages. If you are not able to say it, at a point you become very passive.
Mm-hmm.
Like, okay, whatever hits me,
I'll take it. Yeah.
It takes somebody who loves you.
Mm-hmm.
You get it? And unfortunately, men need people who loves them.
Mm-hmm.
Not like who loves them enough to be like, okay, hey, when you hit the road or when you hit the block, I'll be there. Just dial me. I'll be there for you. So it comes back to what I'm telling about the listening here.
Mm-hmm.
So the man was, no matter how much or no matter wherever you go, when he comes back or when he meets you as a friend or when guys are there should be something that would take away portions of what he's going through.
Yeah. I think it's time that we start looking at our friends, more carefully and actually being friends and just using the word like lip service, my friend. No, let's be real friends and not just make friends with people because we want something for them. Dennis, thank you so much for your time. I'm really grateful for you opening up. I know there'll be more messages and people will not send it via the WhatsApp. They'll go into your DMs and talk to you and stuff like that. Thank you for this initiative that we're doing. I hope men would actually start talking because for me, one of the things I don't play about is having a psychologist or a therapist in your life. There's always a need to talk to someone. If you can't talk to anybody in your family, there are professionals out there. Yeah. And I'm going to dispel this. People think that therapy is actually expensive, but it's not.
It's actually not.
It's not at all.
Yeah.
But we need to talk because the things that we go through, you need someone to help. You can, like a person can be a sounding board. It could not be a loved one. It could be a professional person that you talk to on a daily. It eases a lot. And then you find good counsel in those places because they will speak to you, speak at the problem.
And you realize that better.
Yeah, you realize that issue was just tiny, but because you're going through a lot, you overthought it and blew it out of proportion. So please. And I think for we the women, we need to take care of men's mental health. Like, he's providing everything for you. You should also pay attention to it. Those are the simple things you can do to help them out.
It's better. So, and I also want to tell your listeners to join our campaign. Yeah. To partake in the challenge. They should say it's Kofi. They should just take up a phone, record themselves encouraging any guy over there. Just use the say it hashtag or if it is Kofi, the Kofi, say it's Kofi hashtag. Tell the guy he's not alone. Everything will be better. Yeah. And together our society will become better. Okay.
And thank you so much. For me, all I want to say to you, my listeners, I've always said that I'm always blown away by the number of men who call into my show because I always think those kind of conversations about relationships were only where women would talk. But for me, there are some of you I've never met before, but you are automatically family. When you call, I can tell whose voice it is and everything. I am grateful that I have you guys. You guys are loved and cherished. You guys have been our backbone for like the past 6 years when we started doing Candid on the Afternoon Definition. We're grateful. I love you guys. I adore you. You guys are wonderful. You are great men. Keep shining, okay? You are loved. As usual, I'll be here to come and do things for you, okay? Thank you guys so much. Thank you, Dennis. Thank you so much for joining us. I really appreciate it. A big shout going out to my lover boy in the corner that I want to beat up. My fantastic. My my boo of life. My gobe partner. Oh, you thought I'm your dancing partner, your singing partner. Big shout going out to my salty sugar daddy over there. Big shout going out to what dude. Mwah. Oh, hey, is that how you receive it? I'm surrounded by a lot of men. My entire production crew is men. Big shout going out to Nakwame Labi and to Mr. Black. If I worry you more than Mr. Hagler and Mr. Black, that means police will arrest you. The two of them, when they hear me coming, they just go, "Oh, mini sunny pony, na cry, yeah, same crane, yeah." It's all for the love. Big shouts going out. So we have a new guy. I don't even know his name, but don't worry. From Monday, I'll start disturbing his life, so you hear his name very soon. He's alert, he's quick, and he has a nice smile. My name is Ajele Dogu. Thank you so much for